We've really upgraded so many of our security systems. The most recent addition is the full completion of the vestibule secure entrances at each of the 5 schools. So now when everyone enters the building, they're in a secure vestibule and can't get any further into the building until they've been fully vetted and cleared through our Raptor system that does background checks for any visitors to the schools. We've greatly expanded our camera system both inside the schools and outside of the schools. So our security team has eyes on all aspects of the campus throughout the school day and ease of access outside of the school day. We've changed the locking systems in our schools, and we're actually in the process of doing this district-wide. Now moving to a card access locking system on classroom doors that can easily be locked down with the touch of a button on a keyboard. We've increased our security team both by size, by how we deploy them, and by the hours that they cover in the district. So we've added 2 full-time security positions to the district. One security officer that rotates through all of the schools and covers the lunchtime for security officers, but we've also extended the hours so that we have security coverage into the evening for after-school events. We have a contract with a security vendor, and one of our requirements in the contract is that all of the security officers either have to have a law enforcement or a military background.
I am the coordinator of security, safety, and emergency preparedness. That kind of fills a lot of different buckets. I oversee all the security guards in the district. I prepare and implement a lot of the safety training for the staff and the students. I oversee the drill processes and observe them, and we debrief, and I kind of critique how they're done and make sure that we're kind of sticking with how New York State mandates that a lot of these drills are completed. I am a liaison with the first responders, the police department, the fire department, EMS. I work with the district on implementing policies and research.
Within the Rye City School District, we have an operations team that meets weekly, and so the task of the operations team is to really look at the operations of the school district and how to keep everyone within the organization safe. So one of the things with safety and security that we've seen big gains is that the connection to the technology department. So what I mean by connection is that now, for example, all of our doors are locked within our district, and we are working really hard in each building to put new key systems into the buildings. So we use a fob system, which is connected to our ID badges. And so now when you go in to swipe into our buildings, you need your IDs. If you go into some classrooms, you will need IDs. The benefits of a system like this is that we don't have different types of keys within the district, and the access is controllable from the cloud. So we all have access to it, we can manage it, and we can make quick and immediate changes when something may be happening within this school district.
We do a tremendous amount of training of our staff in terms of safety and security. There are some new components that sort of encapsulate the mental health that our staff are taking advantage of, from mental health first aid to awareness about suicide and mental health challenges. And those are newer modules that we're using with our staff. But we do a lot of work with drilling and practicing. There are many requirements from the state of New York, but we actually go a little bit further. So we involve our police department, our fire department, our municipal workers to really help us get good and evaluate our effectiveness in those drills. We're so fortunate that here in the city of Rye, we have a terrific police department, we have a terrific fire department, and we have a commissioner of public safety who I work directly with, along with the city manager, in bringing those services together and collaborating as a system.
We have now officers that sit on our building level emergency teams at the schools, as well as the district level team that help us analyze and update a lot of our emergency planning. I work very closely with Detective Caputo. He sits in our security management team that meets weekly so that as we upgrade a lot of our security measures and features in the district, we get a police perspective of how those things may work and how they can be implemented better.
So we actually have security officers. We have an assigned youth officer who works with us. It is at schools every day. We have almost daily presence of police officers in our schools. Whenever we have any drills, we work with the police department so that our youth officer and other officers can help us and give us feedback on how we're doing. In addition, the police department has actually done a lot of additional training and drilling on our campus to get to know the facilities so that when they're walking through buildings, they know exactly what rooms are where and where they're going.
So New York State mandates that we prepare for certain emergencies. We've defined them as what we call the simple six. So it's lockdown, lockout, evacuation, shelter in place, hold in place. So what we're trying to do is prepare our students and our staff for those unexpected things. So a lockdown is pretty easy to understand. Is if there's an imminent threat inside the building or around the building, what we want to do is we want to get everybody into a lockable space immediately and isolate the intruder in the hallways so that as the police department arrives and can engage him, there won't be anyone else in the way and they can go after that person who's kind of stuck in the hallways. Lockout is something that is when there's something going on outside the building and we want to keep our students and staff safe, that we would bring all activities from outside the school inside. We would suspend any PE classes outside, potentially may ask any students who have free periods to stay inside the building, and we will secure all the exterior doors, which we really do anyway. We have what's called a single point entry. So I think there's a couple of really important things that students need to do. I think number one is that when they're in school is to be aware and be a part of the school collective. Make sure that you're exiting through authorized doors. Don't let anybody in the building. We really want them to be cognizant of their surroundings and anything that just doesn't look right and to report that. I want students to be able to identify those risk factors. Maybe somebody who's in crisis or posting something online that is inappropriate, and then be able to tell somebody about it, whether it's your parents or a trusted adult. Talk to your building level administrator. By getting that information right away, we can potentially get in front of that person or that issue and potentially stop it before it actually happens.